Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Lynn Wilson and welcome to my channel and welcome to my home. So I still have Q&A questions that have not been answered, and I know some of you are like, you didn't answer my question. I want to know. I want to be in the know. So I'm going to try and get through this in one video. If it gets a little long, I'm just going to divide it into two parts and we'll do one today and one tomorrow, whatever the case might be. So for those of you that are new, I've had a number of new subscribers. Let me introduce myself to you. My name is Lynn Wilson and you are in my home, and I welcome you in my home. I share part of my life, not all of my life, but I try and share as much as I can. What am I all about? I'm an average everyday woman who likes to teach and share things that I've learned to live an everyday life successfully. Success can be described and defined however you want to do that. But to me, a successful day is when my family's happy, my family feels loved, and I've just gotten through the day and I can go to bed with a smile on my face. We do things frugally, we do things on a budget. We do sometimes get a little frivolous and have some fun and spend money. I'm not all about no spend all the time. I love to stockpile. I think it's important to stockpile. You'll see videos on that. We do some cooking, we do some crafts. I love to do, I would say, downright cheap and inexpensive gifts that are great gifts to give. Not a cheap gift that you would want to toss out, but a cheap gift to make that is a great gift to give. My husband is a man on a disability. He has epilepsy, and my youngest son is adopted and has special needs, so I work through that. My oldest son is married, and I call my daughter-in-law my daughter, so if you ever hear me refer to my 3 kids, yes, she is one of my kids that I am in love with. I leave the in-law part out. She's my bonus daughter, and that's all there is to it. We try and just lift you up and encourage you to know that you too can do whatever it is you're doing. We're working on a decluttering series right now, and I just hope that I can be a friend in your home as well as you can be a friend in my home. So without further ado, let's get into the video of some of the questions you've asked me. How did we decide to adopt? Well, it was very simple. I had a biological child, I had 2 miscarriages, and we wanted more children. So we prayed about it, and it didn't seem like naturally it was going to happen for a variety of reasons. We thought about adoption. I had always wanted to adopt. Then my husband was like, yeah, I think adoption is the right thing. Long story short, we were with some friends. Believe it or not, we went out with another couple to an Amish farm to meet their Amish friends, and that's where it all started. We got to meet Amish friends, and while they were preparing dinner for us, this other couple we were with started to tell us about their journey on what they were doing to consider adoption. We were intrigued. We went with it. They decided not to, and the rest is history, and I have my beautiful second son. Where did I meet my husband? I met my husband through a church function. Some of you know, and you might see behind you, I have some African art along here. My husband was born and raised in Africa, and that is a continent that has always intrigued me since I was a child, and my dream was to marry someone from Africa. Can I tell you a little bit about all the jobs I've had? Woo! Okay, well, where do I start? I'll give you some highlights of what I've done. So what did I do? What have I done? I've always had 2 or 3 jobs. It's just been my nature. I always keep busy. Since I was 12 years old, and I started babysitting full-time during my summer break, and I wanted to just make a career for myself. I hated babysitting. But it was the only job that I could do near my house at the age 12, and I decided as soon as I could, I would get a job, and that I did. And I started working in an ice cream store that was like a Dairy Queen, if you have a Dairy Queen near you, and I worked there for probably 12 years. I worked all the way through high school and then through business college, and then after I started my career, I still worked there part-time. The original owners owned a bed and breakfast after they sold the ice cream place. So I started working for the new owners, and the old owners opened a bed and breakfast. I worked for them part-time, learning front desk work and management and housekeeping and food service and all the hotel stuff. Went to business college for travel and tourism. And from there, I worked for an international tour company. I worked in retail sales. I got involved in hotel sales and wholesale sales. I also worked for an airline, teaching reservations to all their new reservationists. That also linked with me. Part of my career was teaching at the business college that I went to school for, and I was able to bring the computers from this airline. They set it up at the business college that I was at, so it was a win-win. It's a long story, but I was able to negotiate. They gave us free computers at the business college, and then locally at night I would train the reservationist on how to use the reservation system. And during the day I taught at the business college, where I taught students that paid to go to that school some things on that computer, as well as other things in hotel management, things like that. I worked for a very posh bridal company where I was your exclusive travel agent for your honeymoon of your dreams. Did that for a while. It was not a paid position, but I was on different boards for our, and I worked with the travel and tourism department and designing different brochures and themes and things like that. I worked with the state of New Jersey, helping design and put together this New Jersey State Fair. Did that for a while. I've done many things, all of that, and loved every part of it. I am now working for a company that is reservations and guest service related. What is my new title? I just got a new title. I am a conference and event coordinator. And basically that's what I do. If you're having a conference, if you're having an event, I'm your person to pull it all together. I've done a lot in my career. I've loved all aspects of it. I've done a few entrepreneurial things. I just love life, like trying new things. And I haven't decided when I grow up what I actually want to do yet. All right, let me find some other questions. How do I get it all done? I don't know who said it. Came up a few times. I don't get it all done. I do not. I am far from a superwoman. As much as I would love to be that person to tell you, this is how you do it in a snap. I just don't. I have moments I break down in tears, and that happened fairly recently because I'm frustrated that I cannot get it all done. And I have learned along life's journey that something has to give. So how do I get it all done? I do not. I just try and navigate through life, and some days and some weeks, depending on the season of life that I'm in, I always say you take care of the emergencies. You don't have underwear, you got to do a load of wash. That is what I call an emergency. You don't have a coffee mug, you got to do the dishes. That is an emergency. You can't do it all. You just can't. You're just one person. We all have 24 hours in a day, and something's got to go. That answers that question. Next question. I didn't even realize it. What are your priorities each day? Are my husband's needs and then my kids' needs. If I've met those priorities for the day, I'm good. After that, it basically is whatever needs to get done. If I'm working that day, I need to work the 9 to 5, and I need to do a good job. They are paying me to work. They are paying me to do my job, and that needs to be a priority. If I'm off from work, then I am off from work, and I try and make sure. A lot of times I'm on call, and I understand that that is part of my job, but I try and limit that and make sure that my kids and my husband are well taken care of. Other priorities throughout the day, what I like to do is sit down and plan out the week and plan out on paper. I like to write it down. What are the things that are happening that week that have to take place? I'm helping take care of my mom. So if she needs to go grocery shopping, I need to make that a priority. If we need food shopping, that has to be a priority. If I know my husband and son have been neglected because I've been really busy, that is a priority. In addition to their daily needs, I need to make sure they're treated special. I just try and look at the week. I go a week to 10 days, try and prioritize what I know are up and coming things that I need to work through. What do you do and let go in a day if you have to? Okay, this is another question, and this is pretty much the same answer I'm going to say. I just look at what's happening in my life and I decide what has to get done. I need to have clean clothes, I need to have clean dishes, and I need to have food in the house. That has to be a priority. In addition to those practical things, I need to make sure my family's needs are met. What are those needs? Well, you know yourself, if you have a family, it just depends on your husband's needs and your children's needs. And I am the wife and the mother of this home, and I am the woman of this home. And as the woman of the home, you all have roles in your own family, but I take my role very serious as a wife and a mother. Whether my kids are adults or not, I'm still their mama. So what do I let go? I let go the things that basically can wait a day. How do you motivate yourself and keep going without any support or encouragement from your inner group of people? Okay, I'm going to end the video here and we're going to come back and finish that up.